Libra, and I'm just doing it kind of late here, guys. So just sort of an off-the-cuff one. This was actually more along the lines of a significant connection to you. It doesn't have to be love, romantic, anything like that, but just more along the lines of a significant connection where things are at. So this one, and again, to be love connection, so take it as it resonates, just a general read. So what I'm looking at here is, first off, we're looking at your energy as a Libra, and we also have the energy, could also be a Cancer that is relevant here. Doesn't have to be, but certain abilities or attributes could be relevant. So what I'm seeing here is with the moon, there is some uncertainty around this connection. So there might be some things that are, there might be some levels of confusion or emotional fog about the situation or the connection in general. It does seem as though things are not very clear cut. Something might be unsaid or not, something like that. So, and again, it looks like Libra can sort of energy coming out here. I'll do a little bit more specific energy here as well, but this is just where we're starting. We also have the Eight of Pentacles, and we also have the Six of Cups. So first off, this does look to be somebody who is younger that's involved here, and there could be some element here around nostalgia, dealing with a lot of memories. This looks to be a very longer term connection. Certainly someone is thinking about more things along, again, this could be child as well, or childhood, but there's definitely elements here of nostalgia, and it certainly does speak to things about the past. So for whoever this resonates for, there is some nostalgia, there's some memories that are coming up here. I find this connection, somebody is thinking about the past. There is not necessarily an indication to end there, because when the nostalgic card comes up, there's obviously some areas here where there is a lot of thought. There's a lot of reflection. There's a lot of emotion. There might even be more emotional hardship. Again, this could be a Cancer, could also be a Libra energy that's coming in here. But either way, it does look as though the connection still has some areas to work on. There is definitely some positives, of course, but what I'm seeing here is that, there's some good times, so it's not necessarily an indicator that there is some kind of an ending, although there is some elements here where there's some difficulty. I do see here that there is an element of lack. This could more so be on the level of the person who would be represented as the moon energy here. Sort of Cancer is coming through here more predominantly, and again, this is someone I feel that you've known for quite some time. Doesn't have to be romantic. Certainly can be something on a more of a general basis. But you're somebody who nonetheless you've known for a long time, and I would suggest, or I would say, that it could even be from childhood, something like that. It doesn't have to be romantic. As I said, this is more of a generality around a connection that's very significant to you at this time, for those that this resonates for. So again, there's something here with that Six of Cups energy that does speak to someone known for some time. There's nostalgia. There's a lot of memories here. There's something here about good times and things about the past. So it does suggest that there is a feeling of loss or abandonment, or some kind of, it implies that somebody doesn't feel supported, something didn't turn out as it was expected to. But either way, there is certainly some reflection on an emotional hardship. So for whoever, again, this resonates for, that's kind of the direction we're going here. Now, it does have the Three of as well. So that is also a sense of celebration or friendship, or maybe somebody is showing you that they still value the positive aspects of the relationship. When we get to, and it looks like things are still being worked on here with the Eight of Pentacles. Some of the other, we'll kind of go through one side to the other. Now we also, and I'll go back, but the Queen of Wands does indicate, again, this could be, this does resonate as someone who would be strong, confident, passionate, somebody who's very, maybe has a lot of energy, or there's a lot of attention that kind of goes with that energy as well. But either way, Libra does come through here, Cancer does come through here. Leo is also very strong in this reader as well. So because we do have the Justice card out here, this connection to me does indicate that there and has been a fair amount of, strong strong connection, because this is a fair resolution card. This is the one where we have the most fairness. There's truth. There's justice. There's balance. So this is where you want to make things right and not necessarily pushing away. So I feel like the fact that we're dealing with the Eight of Pentacles, this is really telling me that there's something here around still wanting to work together. It's about working together, putting in the hard work and the effort, so that whatever you've invested in, has fruits at the end of the rainbow, or whatever you want to call it. So when we get to the card below, there is strength. This could also represent Leo energy here. There's a lot of patience that's required, but there's also a very deep meaning with a lot of these cards. Very strong connection, I would say, with whoever this resonates for. But it's also requiring you to have the strength to be able to deal with this connection from whatever the challenges are that you're currently facing in this connection. The fact that we have, this could be older, younger dynamic as well, but we do have, but we also have Page of Pentacles, something here that kind of speaks to a focus on learning or something new or some kind of growth or change, or there's a new phase that's coming up in this connection. Hi there, Iced Gaming. Sorry, I was just trying to reread there. Thanks for following along. So like I said, overall, I would say that this is telling you that it's really more of a, I would say there's definitely some areas here for growth, change, and some kind of a new phase of sorts that needs to sort of take place. But I feel like right now is on learning or starting something new, kind of picking up the ball, not from where it was, but from a new place, a new space. So it's almost like, the strength card is about having the patience to sort of, wait, because there is some challenges going on in this connection. There's definitely things that you're facing, but it's almost like there's a new phase to the relationship or the connection that's going forward here. So again, there's something here that feels like there's a lot of positive apps, and it's not necessarily that somebody is pushing you away, but it's almost like there's a level of uncertainty that's still here. So it's almost like that needs to take place. It needs to sort of, there needs to be some more balance in the situation. And growth requires openness, and I don't know that I feel that's there just yet. A lot of these cards seem to be, very closed off energy and trying to balance things out. So when we're looking at the Moon card, of course, that's about trying to deal with a phase of something. And again, this could be Cancer energy as well, Libra energy also coming up here. But I mean, it definitely speaks, it's a major arcana card, both of them. So they're pretty strong signs. And I would say there's probably pretty strong positions in the way somebody is coming across, because the Moon card sort of projects fears. So there's also something here about a lot of anxiety. There's things that are still, on the subconscious level that haven't come forward yet. So even in terms of, just in terms of, how someone is to be received, like this would be lose an anxiety. So there's a lot that's still being worked through there, a lot of emotions. There's a lot of intuition trying to sort of read each other, that kind of thing as well. But it feels like somebody doesn't feel as though, because the Moon card represents a lot of anxiety and feelings, I would say, and insecurity. I still think that there's a lot of that going on in action. The other aspect is that the Moon card is something that represents a miscommunication or something that is unclear. So it's almost like this connection or the relationship is going through phases, some good, some bad, but it's definitely been a work in progress, because there's a lot here that kind of speaks to some disappointments, coping with things that, issues that, issues from the past. There's been disappointments or illusions, that kind of thing. I would still say overall it's very positive, although there are some heavier elements here. It's almost like where one is strong, the other is weak, but there's also a lot of things that are still unclear in this situation. So again, a lot of positive aspects that are still being worked through here. This could also be with the Justice card, and again, these are pretty strong cards. But the Justice card definitely does represent a card as for energy here as well. But it's about also bringing, balance back in life. So that might require some rearranging of priorities, that kind of thing. But I also feel like the goals are to get a clearer picture of and what you want to accomplish in the situation. A lot of this is going to require a balance on both parts. You can't go headstrong into something until someone else is sure of their feelings or where, you're kind of having to meet in the middle. But I would say because the moon card is still here, this could also be a childlike energy here with the Six of Cups or somebody from the past that's relevant. But it's almost like you're going to have to compromise. You have to be impartial. You have to be a little bit aloof. There's certainly a lot of energy where this is some things to be worked through. Now, there is emotion. There is strong attachment with that Six of Cups energy. And again, this feels like it goes back into the past, but these are both cards of balance, and they're definitely harmony in the, in the face of the changes that you're undergoing in this connection. Again, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be just on a, significant connection to you. Could be dealing with as well with the Six of Cups, but there's something here that does speak to, you could be closer to the goal than you think because of the Six. Now, I'm not saying that that means it's just around the corner, because the energy here is pretty heavy. When I see the Moon card come out as well as the Justice card, it's almost like you're sort of at a halfway mark, or there's, because there's still some illusions and things to sort of work through with the moon energy. There's nothing that's coming through very clear entirely on that. There's some elements that kind of have to take the time they need to be worked through, because that's about projecting fears. So there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of illusions, people miscommunicating, acting things out that may not be accurate, because they're only snippets of the truth, or a sense of something. So you're not really capturing the full reality of the situation, or they are not. So because of that, it's almost like you have to wait until that level of self-deception or self-sabotage, or that kind of energy has sort of cleared. So it's like some of the sun is coming through here, some of the light coming through here with the moon. So it's just about trying to wait. You have to wait this out, is what I would say there, because there's almost a holding back energy. Something is still being miscommunicated. Something is still unclear. So there's something here. Again, for some, this could also represent as mental health sort of issues, or anxiety, or depression, anything like that, hormonal imbalance, anything. But again, we've got a level of balance despite that as well. So it's just a matter of, I would say, as to how things will work out. So again, there's something here about positive aspects in the situation. There's effort, there's balance, there's openness to grow, but it's almost like you just have to navigate these challenges together. And hi, Zachary. And Iced Gaming. Sorry, I was just trying to read that. Yeah, Iced Gaming and Zach. So, like I said, I feel like things are still being worked on, because we're also looking at the Eight of Pentacles. That's a card of really putting in some time, effort, and energy. And they're all really balanced cards in terms of, so I would say, even though the major arcana, it could be dealing with Libra, could be dealing with a Cancer here as well, as the main energies out. But I would say for the Eight of Pentacles does suggest that there is a sense of wanting to work together in some way. Well, Zachary, I guess I would be just doing the tarot. That's what I'm up to. Yeah. And yourself, what are you doing? What are you guys doing for the night? I'm actually heading off to bed here pretty soon, but I just thought I'd do one more little read. But anyway, because we're dealing with Eight of Pentacles, this does indicate that there could be something around just things. The future is more a matter of investing in one another, putting in the time, self-worth, confidence, those kinds of, could be a level of teaching that's, sort of around this energy here as well. But I still feel like this is a willingness to kind of make some attempt, or, move toward rebalancing the connection. So again, doesn't magic connection can be just someone in your general sphere that you have some concerns about. But Libra and Cancer does seem to be coming up here. But it does feel like there is some really strong elements toward a compromise, or reach for a better connection. I'm not seeing a lot of warm, receptive energy, but I am seeing although there's a lot in terms of history that's coming up here with that 6. So I would still say that there's a lot of, inner courage and patience that's really going to be required, because we do have this card there. So that's you're going to have to push through this. There is something that hard to say on the time frame on this one. Just right now, this is what you're dealing with. Feel like there's a learning process, when you get to that 8 of Pentacles. There's a learning process. You just have to wait it out here. And again, even learning sort of process, we get to the Page of Pentacles. A lot of this energy is not showing up as, the past is showing up as very heartfelt, strong connection. And of course, as the Cancer card, this is a card of a lot of depth and that kind of thing. Whereas this would be Libra, Aquarius energy of trying to balance things out, be fair-minded, and so on. So I feel like that is kind of where things are coming from. You're dealing with water and air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, as I mentioned. And then we've got this practical step. So there's almost like there is an effort to move ahead in some way, Page of Pentacles. It's a very small gesture. I wouldn't say that this is a jump, to any extreme, but it certainly does present a gesture in something going forward in the current energy anyway, or whenever you find this. Doesn't have to be specific to today's date. But as I said, the Page of Pentacles is still that energy of something that is a step in the right direction. So there's self-improvement, reading, educating. Whether this is, it's also student, apprentice, and enthusiastic kind of energy. So it's very kind of youthful energy. So to me, this feels like somebody who is younger in nature. Does indicate here as well, that you could be getting some good news as well that helps to kind of move this connection ahead, because it does indicate that there is a lot of work and effort that's coming in here. So like I said, this is also a message of some kind of communication about, moving in the direction of in a positive way. So again, it's a very small gesture. It is just but it is still good news nonetheless. And again, this is more connection related that I'm sort of dealing with it from. So like I said, take it as it resonates, but that's really what I'm sort of seeing in that direction. Could be dealing with a younger person here as well, just because of a full energy with the 6 of Cups and that page. It does look as though with that 5 of Pentacles, there has been a sense of lack, or not, somebody doesn't feel like they're good enough, or feeling like there's been a situation where there has been challenges. It's almost like this is where you have to reevaluate your priorities. Somebody could have a little bit of a low self-esteem issue, or not feeling loved or connected in some way, for sure. But it definitely does have that energy of, temporary insecurity. But again, that could also be because we are dealing with sort of that energy of a younger sort of energy could also be coming up here. Now we're getting into Three of Cups. So this card suggests to me that there is something very much more positive that's coming through here. And actually there's a card below with the Queen of Wands. So I feel like things are moving in a more positive direction. It's kind of a mixed bag there. I don't think that you can really push the situation, because it's almost like something has to balance out and come to its own conclusion before you can sort of work with it. So it's like one side is actually progressive and, having to be patient. And the other side is, there's still some things to be worked on, but the other side is sort of feeling like not good enough, or in lack, something like that, or the situation or the connection is in lack. I'm seeing here the 3 of Cups, so it's almost like there's something that's about to change here. Again, these are the clarifiers. And sorry, I was just reading. Hi, Gaurav. Nice to see you guys again. Yeah, I had a great day. I did have a great day. It was sunny out, windy, like you have no idea, but that's okay. But yeah, I like to drive. I'm one of those people. I could just drive and drive. I don't truck drive, but I do drive quite a bit. It's my thing. Give me that, I don't know, something on the open road is sort of my thing. But anyway, on to the 3 of Cups. So again, this is that energy of, there could be some kind of an event or a celebration or something here that's coming up that is more positive. But this is usually a sense of healing, a friendship, or more supportive of a connection. demonstrating that there's more of an appreciation for the connection. This is something that I feel is where it's headed. It definitely does indicate something summer or early autumn. There is something here about, old wounds, maybe healing, that kind of thing as well, because the energy does seem to be more along the lines of good news or some kind of blessing. So there's some kind of fun or carefree sort of activity or something to play or a gathering, friends, family, that kind of thing, because the Three of Cups sort of up when there is something that is an opportunity to celebrate. So happy group gathering, family, whatever that is for you, but there's also a sense of relief or some kind of recovery in a situation here. It also represents group interaction, so I feel like there is something here that's going to help draw things together again. There is definitely being done on this connection, but very positive for sure. When we get to the Queen of Wands, now I would say that this is that energy of uh, Queen of Wands is definitely standing out as somebody who's a lot more charismatic, somebody who, would get a lot of attention. There's Libra here as well, Gemini, Aquarius, Leo energy that's showing up here. But I definitely feel like this is, doesn't have to those signs, but it can be just attributes that somebody is showing up with. But I definitely think there's something here about something going forward, because the queens are a receptive energy. It's a very warm energy. So I would say there's almost a movement forward in some way here that's coming in pretty soon. Again, the Queen of Wands is a card of action. Does represent as a Leo energy, Aries, Sagittarius as well. Can be somebody who's very good with business, that kind of thing, but it's a mature energy. So I feel like you could be dealing with more than one person here as well, but there's definitely that energy of more of some passionate about the things that they do. They really have this deep connection to whatever they invest themselves in. They invest themselves in wholly. Like it could be also very temperamental, but again, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius comes up with that. But either way, I just feel like there's more of an improvement here, and this could be news that's coming in here as well. But either way, I just feel like there's more intense emotions that are coming through. And especially when it's around the Three of Cups, which is the card of celebration, it just feels like there is a robust sort of energy going on here and a lot more enthusiasm. So I feel like for whoever this resonates for, this is kind of where things are headed for Libra energy is what I drew for this particular card. But it's movement. And again, I would still say that it's all very positive, despite there being a little bit of insecurity between the Moon card as well as that Five of Pentacles. There's also very youthful energy coming through with the nostalgia card, whereas the other one is coming off as more of a mature energy. It is more of a hang in and endure through the situation with the Strength card. Leo might also be relevant, but Page of Pentacles tells me there is something here that's kind of moved forward. Younger energy, older energy. There's also another female energy that's coming in here as well. But with the Page of Pentacles, I just feel moving in the right direction here. So again, these are practical steps, not a lot of emotional sort of energy, more fiery and practical steps. So I would say that this is, mature energy with a younger energy. So it's kind of level of immaturity. And so there's potential for growth. And again, there's some kind of self-improvement energy that's coming through here with that Page of Pentacles. So again, somebody could be, student apprentice, or they could be improving themselves or learning things or going into studies. But either way, it's sort of that beginner's energy, and it's starting to move into that sense of responsibility and more enthusiasm, more of this one does indicate because the pentacles are a very grounded energy, so it feels like it's a practical thing. Something comes through, and it's not just, keeping things in the mind, even though the Moon card does represent as a Cancer energy for sure. But it definitely speaks to there are some things here that are also hidden, some kind of deep emotional attachments or things that someone might be still hung up on. But either way, I still feel like this is very productive, and as the cards are very grounded, they're hardworking energies. This is down to earth kind of energy. So it's, even though it is more of an immature energy, it is still, signaling some kind of any significant feelings other than it's almost like one person's trying to balance things out and kind of meet halfway, and it's like the other person is seeing the problems and is trying to message in some, way, in a very trying to send a message of, because it's a, I don't want to say it's a protective energy so much as it is a self-improvement energy. So it's like they're still exploring, they're still trying, it's down to earth responsible energy, no matter the fact is that this is a very youthful energy, but it is still a lot of stamina, practical, moving forward, doing what they have to do to get done, accomplish things. It's a building on, it's a building on of energy. So, like I said, I feel like this is a really good start of something moving in the right direction. Now, there could be some kind of a gather fact with that Three of Cups that's coming up here, that might, in fact, be the situation that helps to move things ahead in more of a positive engagement because of the cards that follow. So, I would say from what it starts out as, it feels like there's still a lot to be worked on here, but overall, the energy is, I'm seeing Libra, Cancer coming out here, Gemini, Aquarius, and as I said, the Moon card is also having an understanding of something, but not a full grasp of the situation. So I would say that whatever the issues are that are sort of below the surface here, I would say this is something that is going to, it's still going to take a little bit of time to work through, because that Strength card coming through, it does indicate that there is something here about moving forward with plan, but it's also coming from a very strong position. So patience and endurance will pay off is basically what the message is of the Strength card. It's almost like trying to tame the ego and all the other obstacles that might be in the way, and holding that, holding back on that, because the Strength card basically comes from, and so does the Justice card. It's about moderation. It's about exercising control over oneself and using wisdom and knowledge to kind of move something forward. But like I said, I mean, overall, I still feel like energy here is about your endurance paying off, because again, the Strength card speaks to that, that whatever it is in terms of the connect, it's still a matter of enduring and being patient. It's not going to, and able to find the right balance. So really powerful connection, powerful cards, learning through trial and error and that kind of thing here as well. But I definitely feel like this energy is quite intuitive, like it's coming from deeper places, like the subconscious, and this is about being fair and just and really balancing things out. The hardworking effort card here is here with the Eight of Pentacles, putting in the time and the energy into something. So it's like there's still a fair investment in one another, because of the energies I'm seeing here. Like the focus is on getting better and doing better, and the same thing with the Page of Pentacles, doing better, putting the effort and time and energy into oneself and into something that that matters to you. So again, I feel like there's a willingness to go forward, but in a very practical way. A lot of emotion here, even though there is a lot of emotion and history that is showing up here, but I still feel like it's pay attention to the small considerations, unable to guard in this connection and deepen the bond. So this could, look like going new experiences, because even though there's a past connection, this might look like trying to build, reaching for a better position by creating new memories in a different way. So it's almost whatever was there before has to be built in a different way. There is a lot of history here in this connection for sure. But again, there's a certain level of, feeling like one not feel like they're good enough or feeling in lack. But there is going to be some kind of celebration of some sort that's coming in here in the next near future, I would say, that is going to help to move things forward. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius also showing up. But I definitely feel like a lot of these are minor arcana. So the cards that seem to be most prevalent, though, is for sure Cancer, Libra, Gemini, were the ones that stood out. So those are your main cards out. So, Anyway, that's what I have for you. But it just feels like overall there is going to be some kind of ability or chance or opportunity here, because there's a lot between, being just, fair, and having a pretty good sense of oneself. Because the Justice card, again, sort of speaks to that energy of having, this is a major arcana. So, I mean, this is the card that tells you you're in a really good place, fairly balanced. So somebody here is, and then the other is, I would say, sort of working through something. For sure. And again, that was more the Cancer sort of energy. But either way, I feel like they're really good balance. One's making a decision, balance things out, taking a hard look at oneself, that kind of thing. If there are some legal issues there, I mean, this would be judgment, I feel, in your favor. But I feel like whatever this connection is going to bring, there will be balance that comes back in based on probably a lot more along the priorities of things, you know? Oh, hi, Gaurav. No, I'm actually from Canada. In Canada, I know you guys are going through some pretty big changes, I hear. But yeah, no, I'm from Canada. Everything's pretty, I mean, we have our ups and downs, I suppose, for the most part. But I mean, on the average, I think Canada is a easygoing place in a lot of respects. Very conservative, I would say. I don't know if that's so much the case in the U.S. I don't know. I've never been down there, although I'm sure I definitely love a lot of things about the homes and kinds of things down there. Um, but yeah, it seems like it's much faster paced. But anyway, yeah. So like I said, I mean, from these cards showing up here, I just feel like this is really where there's a contract almost between things here that may also be relevant. But either way, I just feel like things will be fair and just and balanced. It's like things that whatever needs to be done is being done, in a fair, balanced way. So I feel like there isn't going to be anything that kind of like a rug pulled out from beneath you or anything like that with this connection. It just feels like things just need to mature or improve, sense of well-being, because we did have um, the moon card being, not fully understanding this whole scenario. And then we had the Five of Pentacles, which is that card of not really being sure of oneself or feeling secure. So there's something there that feels a slight bit ungrounded. So again, it's almost like you have to kind of pause before this really matures in this situation. So either way, there is a period of growth, I would say, because there's a lot of cards that go from Page to Queen. And of course, the energy's out here. So, yeah, either way, I feel like this is very still going in the right direction. There will be some kind of fair resolution over the long haul. Is just, one showing up as more strong, confident, passionate, that kind of, with that Queen of Wands energy. And then there's that Three of Cups, which is sort of a sense of a celebration or something that's coming in here. That's also kind of in that, friendship sort of range, or, but the confidence of the Queen of Wands, suggests that there is still some kind of admiration for your energy, or there's some kind of attractiveness about that energy that pulls things together. We've got Justice, of course, which is pointing to fairness and truth, and, things are being resolved, but not from a pushy sort of way. You can't push or force this situation here. The Eight of Pentacles is talking about putting in the hard work, and it does imply that you're still investing in another to make things work, or at least that, both parties seem to be in that same favorable mode. So yeah, overall, I just feel like there's a mix of nostalgia. There's some emotional struggle, like I said, but there's still a willingness to work through things. And I feel like, this other person, this other party is figuring things out. So, this is not something that you push. Definitely you're dealing with, or they're dealing with some kind of inner conflict, or if this is you, one person seems to be more balanced over the other. It does seem like there is one older energy, younger energy, that kind of thing. But I just feel like you're not being pushed entirely, but there's not a lot of cups or anything where there's a lot of emotion going on here. So it's almost the things that occur here seem to be more along the lines of practical, actions. It's not really clear. There's still a bit of an emotional fog going on with this connection, where things aren't being said or not fully acknowledged, that kind of thing. So again, I feel like this is still that range of, so they were abandoned or not felt as though they were justly treated, perhaps. But either way, I feel that this is still moving in a positive direction. So again, there's a lot of values that are on the table here. And again, a sense of celebration and friendship or connection. So I feel like there's a lot of positive aspects in this relationship. And it definitely feels like, the other person feels that there's more of an attractiveness and, balanced energy coming out versus, again, this could also be the Cancer energy here that's presented with the Moon card. But I still feel like overall, really positive energy here. Does feel like it's still going to take some time to kind of work through this. But because this is emotional confusion or fog, this is still somebody working through those uncertainties, still hidden, so there's therefore still more confusion, still more emotional fog. So I would just say, even though things aren't clear cut, nothing's been maybe solidified and said, there's still a lot of things going on beneath the surface. So that's what I have for you, Libra, for this current energy. And so I should be heading to bed here soon, but keep moving forward, guys. Never give up. Talk to you in the next read.